guys, YodaCode43 here today with another car review for you. And finally, I get my chance to video review a 2022 Ford Bronco. The full-size Bronco, not the Bronco Sport. So let's take a little walk around, talk about trim levels, talk about what features this truck has versus others, and then we'll check out all the nooks and crannies inside and out under the hood in the trunk, and we'll go for a drive. So first thing is, this is a black diamond trim with the Sasquatch package. A Sasquatch package is given away by the 35-inch tires, the Goodyear Territory tires with the beadlock wheels. It also has a 2-inch suspension lift over any other Bronco. A black diamond, I believe, if I recall correctly, is the third trim up. So 2 up from the base. There are, I believe, 7 trims total on these. This one is Cyber Orange Metallic. Yes, that's the color name, though it doesn't look orange. It definitely looks yellow, especially when you put it next to something like a school bus or a taxi. But it is metallic, and in the sun, it is fantastic. Of course, it's not sunny right now. Hopefully, it'll come out during our video here. So the Bronco comes in 2-door and 4-door versions. This one's a 4-door, obviously. You can get it with a soft top or a hard top on the 4-door. Currently only a hard top on the 2-door, but there are aftermarket soft tops available for those. This one has a 2.7-liter V6 twin-turbo EcoBoost with 300 horsepower on regular gas, 330 on premium, and I believe it's like 410 foot-pounds of torque. It's very torquey, a lot of bottom end, and a 10-speed automatic transmission co-developed with GM, used in the Raptor, used in the Explorers, used in all the new GM trucks. This Sasquatch package truck also has Ford's modular aftermarket front bumper, which can be equipped with fog lights in the outer edges, but this one doesn't have fogs unless you have the normal bumper, which can have fog lights. There's exposed tow hooks. A black diamond trim has a black plastic grille with white painted plastic letters. A base trim has black painted plastic letters. Upper trims have like a gray or a gloss black grille and different headlights as well. This has the normal LED headlights. There's also the signature LED headlights, which come on upper level trims, anything up from here. So if I recall correctly, it goes base, Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, and then there's the first edition, which was only for 2021. It was sold out very quickly, and if you find one for sale, it's an exorbitant amount of money. Let's take a look at these tire treads real quick. So like I say, these are a 35-inch tire, Goodyear Territory. Originally was a Goodyear Wrangler, but Ford didn't want Wrangler written on their vehicle anywhere, so they developed a new tire for it. A 315/70 R17 beadlock wheel, a federally mandated camera, comes through the center of the spare. You have the Bronco badge on the tailgate. These are the base taillights, which are just regular incandescents. You can get signature LED taillights on the upper level trims. All of the soft tops have tinted windows, except for on the base model. You have tow hooks in the back as well. A single exhaust pipe on one side, whether 4 or 6 cylinder. There are aftermarket dual setups as well. This one has the tow prep package with 7 and 4 pin connectors and a class 3 hitch. Tow rating on a Sasquatch, I think, is the same as all the others at 3,500 pounds, I think is the maximum they can tow. I'll have to double check that, put that here. Curb weight on a Sasquatch is somewhere north of 4,700 pounds in a 4-door. Capless fueling, typical Ford. Little Easter egg here showing the 1st-gen Bronco, 2nd-gen Bronco, 3rd-gen Bronco. 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Oh, those are the original body types. Full open, pickup cab, and then full hardtop. Established 1966. Lower trims also have black door handles and mirror caps. Higher trims have color-coded ones. The Outer Banks trim is kind of your luxury trim, and that comes with color-coded fender flares as well. But Sasquatches all get the black fender flares, and Sasquatch flares are quite a bit wider than the normal flares. The windshield also has Bronco written on it, established 1966. Each model trim has its own sticker on the side, and they're different if you have a Sasquatch package. See a little animation of Sasquatch there. These little caps at the top of the windshield pop off for like a roof rack if you have a hard top. It says accessory ready in the windshield. I can't imagine these windshields are very easy to get. This MSRP of this particular truck is like $51,000, something like that. But the markup they've got here shows it at $67,880. Yeah, markups on these are absolutely insane. Those first editions, if they're brand new still, are sitting on lots around $102,000. Absolute insanity. These are independent front suspension, solid axle rear, so different from a Wrangler in that respect. They have a much better ride and handling on the road. But off-road equipped models similar to this one have a sway bar disconnect in the front, and I'll show you the buttons that do that when we get inside. First, I'd like to show you under the hood. Oh, door sound. The windows come down when you release the door to clear the edge of the top. It is very busy under here with the V6. The 4-cylinder is slightly less busy, but nonetheless still busy. They don't cover anything up. You got your crossover intercooler tube in the front here, your intake right on top. And you got your airbox over here. Pretty easy to access stuff, it's just really busy. There we go. Yeah, you can't really tell the color of this paint truly without some sunlight. But I love that Bronco badging in the front. Very true retro styling to the original. Very smart also that Ford decided to mount the mirrors up on the cowl so that if you choose to take the doors off, yes, you could take the doors off. The mirrors stay put, which is a safety feature not available on a Wrangler. The mirrors come off with the doors. Another thing to note, no exterior hinges on this like you have on the Wrangler either. And the doors are bigger. Yep. So you have a quick disconnect for the door harness, and then it's a quick pass with a tool to get the doors off, and it's really quite easy. I'll show you inside the back quick. So it's just a gas shock for the rear door, so you can stop it at 90 degrees, or you can actually go to about 135 degrees, which gives you maximum usage of the rear storage area, which is awesome. And then I'm not going to do it, but the rear section of the top pops up and folds away a little bit so you can get in here and get more stuff in via these latches right here on either side. They're kind of hard to get back in. You got to give it a good smack when you bring it down. Toolkit and extra underfloor storage in the back. I like the little lasso here for your tie downs. Very clever. Storage bin, interior light, the Bronco badge in between it. You can't really see. An extra power point. And then these are your power options for when the hardtop is on here, for rear defrost and for the rear wiper. Funny though that those are here on this soft top model, now that I'm noticing it. Maybe it's the prep kit that I've been told about, because almost all of them are being sold with soft tops right now, except for people who choose to wait for the hard top. The ordering system for these has been a mess. People have been waiting 15 to 18 months for them at some points. Sasquatch package trucks also get rock sliders, except for if you order a Sasquatch on the Outer Banks, in which case you get running boards. Normally a black diamond has all black steel wheels up, and I really like the look of this Sasquatch package. However, the jump in here without running boards is it's high. So let's check out the inside, starting with the back. Here's the window sticker we can go over quick. Like I say, base price just over $50. But and there's your fuel economy, 17 and 17 with a 17 combined. Not very efficient with this V6, but it's equally as efficient as the 4-cylinder, so why wouldn't you get the V6? I think it's only an $1,800 upcharge. This truck also has the marine grade vinyl interior. It's very robust feeling. It'll be very easy to clean. Be great if you had kids or if you go off-roading or if it gets wet in here with the roof off. Here's all your roof structure on the inside. You got your bows every 17 inches or so, something like that. And I like how Ford has done what Jeep has not. Jeep has a crossbar in the middle here. Ford does not. They leave this whole section open, so when the top is flipped back, it basically leans back up here over top of this bar, and this whole section is one giant sunroof. It's pretty awesome. Speakers are mounted up top, similar to how Jeep is. The upper level sound system is pretty good in these, but the bass system is kind of I'd just turn it up. Or there's very easy upgrades that can be done. Seat back storage, you have this whole lattice style design for hanging like carabiners off of, for example. You got a storage net down below. Power window switches are in the center, in the front, and the rear. I have a power point back here as well. Oh, I lied. Those are USBs for charging. No step. So don't step on the console because you'll probably break it. This one has all rubber flooring in it for easy washing out. I know there are floor plugs, I believe, also in the rear as well as for sure in the front. The top mechanism is very complex but very cool. I'm not going to open it because it's 20-something degrees out here. But basically, if you unlatch from the front, this whole section flips back and sits on top here. And then it's a two-step process. There's a latch you squeeze, and then the whole thing folds down onto the back. I've seen a lot of complaints about how the rear windows always have this kind of wave to them, and it's true, they do. Not much you can do about it though, and this one's probably never had the windows out of it yet because it's cold. But you know, they pinch into a groove here. They Velcro up top, and maybe if you can get the Velcro a bit tighter, the wave will come out of it. Pinch into a groove here and slide on here. Such a cool looking truck, really is. And it's full frame. It's based on the Ranger chassis, 6 lug wheels all the way around. But yet the Ranger doesn't come with a V6 yet. I believe there's a Ranger Raptor coming soon that's going to have the V6 turbo as an option, the 3-liter. And there's also the Bronco Raptor, which there's some videos out of already, that has the 3-liter twin turbo EcoBoost with almost 400 horsepower. So checking into the front seat here. Same thing, full marine grade vinyl seats. They feel awesome. They're very comfortable, front or rear. There's a cool little animation that goes on here when you first open the door of rocks rolling up, and then it shows the Bronco logo. Very cool night sky shown on the digital cluster. It's partial digital. The whole screen here is digital, and then it's an analog speedometer and coolant temp gauge at the bottom. Nice big grab handles here. I noticed that this Black Diamond model has blue trimming, whereas some other trims have orange trimming in them instead. But it's nice, the blue trimming. Full manual seats. In this trim, you get power seats on higher models. Headlight controls here. Parking brake down there. Your hood release. Manual tilt and telescope wheel. Full leather wrapped. Feels very nice in the hands. Typical modern Ford. However, all the buttons are more of a capacitive rubbery nature as opposed to a hard button. I kind of like it. Feels good. More weather tight as well. You have window controls in the middle. Mirror controls as well. Yes, they're upside down in the camera in this view, but honestly, when you're sitting there looking down at them, they're the correct way. Shifter has your plus minus Tiptronic on the side of it. And then you have your GOAT modes, your 4-wheel drive modes. There's, on a Sasquatch, I think there's 7 different modes. There's a ridiculous number of them. And you get 4 high, 4 low, 4 auto, 2 high in any of the Sasquatch equipped trucks. I mentioned the sway bar disconnect. You've got a series of buttons up here for differential locks, trail turn assist, which is also a cool thing. Actually, this one doesn't have a sway bar disconnect, probably because it's not a Badlands. You need a higher level trim to get the last button here. But trail turn assist, basically, when you use it, if you're going low speed and you crank around a corner, like say you're in tight woods, it'll lock the inside rear tire on either side when you're turning in order to help you negotiate the turn much tighter. The thing already has an impressive turning radius, but it gets even more so when you use that. This one has the auxiliary switch package as well. You can wire those to anything out of the fuse box. The top releases are on either side, and there's these 2 brackets in the middle for when you have a hard top on. It latches in there as well. visors are nice tough plastic. They're not lit on this model, but I'm pretty sure they are on upper models. They are extenders as well. They do their job well. Big header panel for the top here. The fabric is pretty durable. Cloth. There's certainly some wind noise. You can hear things all around you at all times, whether sitting still or driving along, but it's not bad. And especially for the type of vehicle it is, it's a lot quieter than a Wrangler with a soft top, for sure. With that, we'll hop in and show you some of the features on this thing. This one does not have remote start. Key is very basic here. Lock, unlock, and panic. That's it. So we'll set that here in the deep, grippy cup holders, and I'll attempt to get in. Yeah, it's a chore. It's a chore. My wife would not do it. So let's see. Engine stop start, I believe on every model except the base. And if you listen, you can hear the engine rumble a bit. You can hear some exterior noise if you're really listening, but probably not very much now that the fan is on in here. This one has the smaller touchscreen. There's also a 12-inch screen available, which takes up this whole space, and it is awesome. It's huge. You can get it with nav and all that good stuff. Up on the dash, you've got some storage cubbies. You also have a place here to mount, say, a dash cam or a GoPro for off-roading. And on other trims, you actually get a power point up here for that exact purpose, to charge it off of. Full LED interior lighting. Actually, full LED lighting apart from the taillights themselves on this model. It's cold out today. I've just driven it through town, hence the mile per gallon being so low. So I'll get it out on the highway during the drive here. But yeah, the screen reacts pretty quickly. Nothing to complain about there. Sometimes it takes a little harder press than you might think. Not a very hard press, but more than you'd expect. Hard buttons for volume and other radio controls. Hard buttons for all your climate control. This one is just standard one-zone manual, non-automatic climate control. You have your auto stop-start button here. As I mentioned, goat modes, which if you start rotating that, you'll see it change. You got normal, eco, sport, slippery, mud ruts, sand, rock crawl. And I think that's back to normal. Yep, that's cool. It acts like a gauge too. You see that white line that moves from side to side. And then yeah, a weird partial digital cluster where you have the tachometer on the right. I've never seen anything like that. It's a bar. You have a full-time digital speedometer. You have some various things you can look at on the right side. Average speed, tripometer. Yeah, stuff like that. And then, yeah, the analog speedometer. Funny enough, this one actually has your wipers on this stock as opposed to having a divorced stock to the other side, like the Maverick I actually drove earlier today. Other than that, though, I think we're ready to go for our drive, so I'm going to switch the camera over and off we'll go. Although I will note, Ford has an awesome little plaque here. Designed and engineered in Dearborn, Michigan, USA, and built at the Michigan Assembly Plant, which is very close to Dearborn. They got a huge stockpile of them down there right now. All right, well, we're going to take the Bronco for a spin. There is a manual mode for the shifter, as I mentioned before, but really no need to use that here. The turning radius is absolutely impressive, considering the 35-inch tires on this thing. If you hear any noise inside the truck besides wind noise, it's just the license plate in the back window. There's no other rattles or squeaks or nothing inside of this thing. It's quite robust. I wanted to note, I didn't mention the engines. The other engine option I did say is a 4-cylinder, but I didn't talk about it. 2.3-liter 4-cylinder turbo EcoBoost, similar to what you find in the Mustang or the Focus RS from a couple of years ago. It's 270 horsepower on regular or 300 horsepower on premium. A few extra pounds of torque. I think it's 330 foot-pounds with premium gas. I'm sure pretty stout. I haven't driven a Bronco with one yet. I want to, though. So we may choose to get that over the 6 for saving a couple of bucks. But honestly, the 6-cylinder is where it's at. You feel like you're in a truck. It bounces around over some bumps, but nothing jarring. The special off-road suspension, the Fox shocks and whatnot equipped on a Sasquatch package really help with the ride. It's not stiff. It's what you'd expect for an off-roader. It's meant to do some stuff. I have no doubt it would with these tires. But to be honest, the tires themselves are not very loud. You do hear them, but they don't sing. The standard radio in here, like I say, is pretty meh, very average, but it's not bad. Would prefer the upper level stereo myself. Really short shifts. We're in third before 20 miles an hour. It's like it shifts every 5 miles an hour almost at low speeds. But it has 10 gears. And honestly, apart from like highway driving over 70 miles an hour, I'd probably never use this 10th gear. I can't imagine what the crawl ratio is like in low range, though. I'm sure it's really good. I mean, I've seen some videos from the Bronco off-rodeo, which is a cool experience you get if you order a Bronco. If you want to fly into a couple of locations, there's one in the Northeast, there's one in the South in Texas, and there's another one elsewhere, I think. Can't recall where it's at. But very cool experience. There's lots of videos out there about it, and you get to really check out the capabilities of these trucks. Okay, so I'm 50% throttle. I mean, yeah, you hear the wind noise around that roof, that's for sure. Plenty of power. Doing 70 miles an hour, and I mean, it sounds like I'm driving a car with the rear windows down. But I don't hate it. I just have to have the volume up pretty loud on the stereo to compensate for it. However, the top has to be somewhat insulated because I'm plenty warm in here. I've got the heat rolling. It's hot. Probably need to turn it down. I'll come back to you guys in a little bit with an acceleration bit, but it doesn't feel unstable on the highway. The road holding is excellent. It's regular rack and pinion steering up front, not like a steering box like old school trucks are. The ride is quite good. The road manners are good. I'm not being blown around. It's not a windy day, but I'm not getting any cross breeze from other traffic or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy with how it drives, but myself, I'd want the hardtop with the insulation for a little quieter experience. So, quick little side note, when you go into sport mode, you automatically get 4-wheel drive. You don't get a choice. We're going to do a little 0 to 60 acceleration test here in the Bronco. Sheesh, this thing gets going. Goes through all those gears so fast. That's exciting. You hear a lot of turbo whoosh from the exhaust coming through the soft top. Here's a quick look at what the headlights look like. Like I said, these are the base headlights, so the upper level ones have a daytime running light ring around here and goes down the signal as well. In fact, I think on the other ones they're a switchback LED for the signals. But otherwise, still a full LED headlight, just a different look. It's a big vehicle. Yeah, just regular bulbs for the rear. I also believe the 0 to 60 time on these V6 models without a Sasquatch package is somewhere in the low 6s. But with Sasquatch, it's probably closer to 7. There's a lot more unsprung weight that you're rotating with the bigger tires and the suspension lift and stuff like that. The 4 cylinders, I think, are in the mid-7s and around 8, 8.2 with a Sasquatch on a 4-cylinder. Just wanted to give you that info. So, 2022 Ford Bronco Black Diamond Sasquatch. Honestly, this has all the amenities I would need, but honestly, I'd like to have things like heated seats and steering wheel. That's just me. Growing accustomed to a certain standard of living. No, that's not true. I wouldn't need it. It gets warm in here fast. The heating system is fantastic. Even with the soft top on here, I'm sure it's even better with the hard top with better insulation. Remote start would be nice. With where I live, up in Michigan, it gets real cold. road holding is nice. The handling is not bad. You get body roll, but it's nothing scary. Not going to be testing out the four-wheel drive system or any of that today, but you know, it's pretty low fuel economy, but it's exactly what I'd expect. Our Defender has a 4-cylinder and does 21 on the highway. This might do slightly less than that, but that's only because this is a Sasquatch. The lower trim, or the non-Sasquatch models, I think do 20 with a V6 and 19 with a 4-cylinder on the highway, which is comparable, but the 6-cylinder has a lot more guts, as you saw in that acceleration part of the video. So, lots of room in here, lots of room in the back seat for a kid's seat or two. It's definitely a family-friendly vehicle, I would say. Little tall being the Sasquatch, I want running boards on mine. Don't lynch me. Otherwise, that's going to do it for me. We'll see you next time.